Hello, today I'm going to show you how to integrate our CourseLayer LMS within your app. I'm going to be demoing it on our Next.js template, but the same principles apply wherever you want to implement our CourseLayer API. So let's start with the demo instance we have up and running. We need to make sure a couple of things are set up before starting. You need to make sure that there are a couple of courses with their content filled out with the curriculum items, so sections and lectures. This is just some demo content we have so far, as well as the settings. We need to make sure that we have a redirect set up correctly. So after sign up, after login, after password reset, for example, we need to make sure these are leading our users to the correct URLs based on your environment. And also we need to make sure that the Stripe is properly set up. So we need to have Stripe API key and secret, as well as the webhook secret set up in advance. Webhook URL we also provide to you as a read-only field that you can potentially leverage inside of your app. And now, when we navigate to our CourseLayer template GitHub repo, you'll see that there are couple of sections in our README. Here are all of the features that we provide in this starter template, and our tech stack is Next.js 15 with Tailwind CSS and Shed CN for styling. So we have a simplistic modern UI. We use React Query for data fetching and all of the modern web tooling for everything else. Here you'll find the whole project structure, so you get some context around how everything works and how the code is separated. Feel free to adjust this however you want in your code. This is just some getting started good practices we have. Node 20 is required. And then we have the API integration, which explains the whole process and all of the APIs we have so far you can integrate with from the CourseLayer side to your API and how authentication flow is set up right now. However, saying it again, like this is just an example of how it can be done, but the same principles applied because the same APIs are going to be used however you decide to do it in your app. So we can get started. I'll start by cloning this repo. So I'll go ahead and write git clone. There it is. Now I'm gonna cd into CourseLayer template, run npm install. And while we wait for npm install to complete, next step would be for us to create our env variables. So as you see here, for example, the required env variables are Next.js public API URL, which is going to be the actual URL to our CourseLayer API instance, reCAPTCHA site key, which is going to be a key to our reCAPTCHA, Google reCAPTCHA, since we don't want a bot signing up, and we have a Bunny library ID, so we are aware how to pull in streaming content from Bunny, which means our lessons that users are going to be studying. So the next step would be to copy env example to env local after npm install has completed. So cp env example to env local. I'll just go ahead and cursor dot, open this in cursor. So in our env example, in our env local, we need these three env variables. So I'll change this to demo.api.com, my reCAPTCHA secret key, and my Bunny library ID. I'll just grab these for my environment. Okay, here are all of the env variables you need. So I'll add the additional one, which is reCAPTCHA secret key and reCAPTCHA site key. So now I need to go ahead and go npm run there. And you'll see if I go to localhost 3000, we have instance of CourseLayer running. Now this error is just because of my Chrome extensions. You'll see if I go to incognito and run this, there should be no errors for hydration. And here are the 3 published courses from our CourseLayer app. Now you can preview each of them. Let's say I click on this one. Sec. So you see this course opens and I see all of the sections. Now I can add this course to cart. Before adding it to cart, there are all of the basic actions like login, register. After you log in and register, you'll be able to see your products by clicking My Products here. And then if we go to the actual code, you have all of the docs in the README how this is structured, but the core of the product is this API.ts, where we have all of the API endpoints being hit, all of the exposed API endpoints being hit, as well as their payload types and everything for our CourseLayer API instance. So you see from search, from my courses, from sales page, because we have a concept of sales pages. Those are promotional pages, you'll see. And then my courses are the ones that user has purchased, and you can get a single course by running my courses slash the course ID. And here's an example of how to do that in the code. So we use React Query, as I mentioned, and this is as simple as that. So we have course consumption component that literally just calls get my course with the course ID getting passed as a prop. And then we have query keys just to manage the caching, since we take care of that as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it. The main flows are all described in README. And to get started is as simple as cloning the app, running npm install, configuring ERV variables, and that's it. You can literally deploy that app to the cloud provider and have the existing instance of CourseLayer being able to be used and sold to your users. Of course, the prerequisite for that is, as I mentioned, to set up the courses and redirects and Stripe inside of our app, CourseLayer LMS. That's it. Thank you so much, and we are open for all of your questions or detailed inquiries about the integration of CourseLayer API within your app.